Hey, so how's it going? Here I am, I'm in my kitchen, and I wanted to show you how I make banana bread. I know you know how to make banana bread. We all do. It's kind of something that our parents would do probably for us whenever they could or whatever. But anyways, I know you know how to make banana bread. But this is the way I make banana bread, okay? So anyways, what I do is I get a stick of butter and I cube it and a cup of sugar. And with my own hands, and I wash my hands, oh sorry, with my own hands I just basically just sort of cream the butter. This is the funnest part. I know I could probably use the KitchenAid mixer, but the best part of this is to get your sugar and butter all nicely creamed together in a sort of popcorn looking way. So, excuse me. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. My plan for tonight is to make some banana bread for you. So I'm just creaming this butter. Martha Stewart uses the KitchenAid mixer, of course, and I said that again. I'm repeating myself, and I often repeat myself. But tonight I'm making banana bread in the most unorthodox way. Yeah, I sort of look at banana bread in a way it's sort of a behavioral thing. Behavioral patterns that I sort of get into. Okay, so basically it's nicely creamed, and I can understand how it's creamed, and I believe so it's creamed properly with my very own hands. Okay, so I'm just going to wash my hands here. Okay, now this is when I add salt. Okay, I know we all need salt. Yeah, or some of us don't need that much salt, but yeah, anyways, I add a little bit of salt. So I just get some table salt, and I sort of measure just a pinch of salt. Not very much, because you don't need much. That's sort of like blended in there. And then from there, I usually add my flour. So I'll just get my flour. I'm a Canadian girl, so I use Robin Hood all-purpose flour. Yeah. So I usually sort of roughly measure a cup and a half flour. Sort of gently adding my cup. And yeah, that was obviously sifted in there. So gather a cup and a half of flour. And then I'm going to put that right back. And with your very own hands that have been washed properly, you're going to sort of combine the butter and the flour and little bits of salt together so it sort of looks like a crumble. Yes, my kids love my banana bread. This is how I do it. This is how I've sort of been doing it for a while, and it's worked out every time. I know I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, the bananas. Okay, like every girl should, they should have their apron on, but I don't have my apron on, so it's alright. Okay, here's another unorthodox tip, what I do is I gather 3 bananas, sort of rip them out of the banana skins in a haphazard way, and sort of just gather my vanilla. And this is the best part. I sort of just like gasoline, just sort of like pour it right on the bananas there. And I'm going to take these bananas and I'm going to take it to the microwave. Okay, you might not condone the microwave usage here, but anyways, I use it. It helps me, and it also brings out the aroma of the banana. So anyway, and it also softens the bananas. So for 6 minutes, and I know, please pardon the sound of the microwave. For 6 minutes, I put my bananas and a large dosage of vanilla into the microwave, and that basically softens it. So right now, I'm just combining the flour, butter, salt, so it sort of looks like a meal, sort of just like, I don't want to say sand because we don't want to eat sand, but yeah, so it sort of looks like just like very fine shortbread cookie crumbs. That's a better way of putting it. So yeah, I use my hands. I like to use my hands. So it's just coming along here nicely, like it always does. I first tried making banana bread right after I had my second daughter, and I always never had any success with baking. I just never thought I could bake until I sort of like stumbled onto something on my own, and through that, now it's something that I have to make. My children demand I make banana bread. Yeah, as I'm sure you already know how to make banana bread. I mean, yeah. So here I am. And this looks fine. It's coming along. So it just sort of like crumbles, really fine little crumbles. And this is the funnest part, to sort of make it into that loving crumble, where the butter and the flour and everything just sort of intermingle together in a sort of beautiful way. Yeah. So my children are sleeping. We just came back from the mall, so this is good. I can actually speak to somebody. Munchie! I can actually speak to you, yeah, without any interruption. But as I'm sure as this starts to baking, somebody's gonna wake up. Okay, so I have my pan. Don't forget your pan. So, okay, so I have my salt, my flour, and everything looks fine in here. Okay, and so from there, I add my baking soda. I add a teaspoon of baking soda into this mixture. A heaping teaspoon. Yeah. And I also add some, I'm not sure how you pronounce this. sort of like, I think they're called cocoa nibs or whatever, cacao. This stuff always spices up my life. I can't avoid this, so I usually just dump this in there to that mixture. I also cannot avoid craisins. I like to put craisins in my banana bread, or raisins, or whatever you like to put. So I sort of like mix that in there too. This is definitely not your run-of-the-mill banana bread. This is a very different, special banana bread. Okay. I also have mixed nuts, because we always need nuts. Or, yeah, we'll try. So I got some nuts here, and whatever is in that bag. And then mix that in there. So it's sort of a hodgepodge type of bread, but trust me, it tastes good. So nuts, craisins, and cacao nibs. So that'll sort of join each other in the dry stage. So have I forgotten something? Dry? No, I don't think I have. I got this. Okay. So from here, I'm gonna add 2 eggs. Making sure to properly beat them with a fork. And just sort of gently beating them. I'm the kind of baker who sort of cleans as I go along. That's probably another pitfall I have here, but that's fine. So just sort of beating my eggs in my little measuring cup here, which is not truly a measuring cup, but it's actually it's actually a candle. It's from IKEA. You can like put, some people have candles in them, but trust me, there hasn't been a candle in this cup for a long time. I know, you're wondering what is she doing, but no, trust me, it'll all turn out all right. I know what I'm doing. I do this basically once a week, basically. I'll make a banana bread for my kids. And this is something anybody can do. This is a very simple recipe. And, you know, trust me, your family will appreciate it. So 2 beaten eggs, and I got all of that dry stuff in there. And just to add some moisture, I'm going to add some yogurt. Just a little bit of yogurt. I know. It's odd, but it works. Just a couple spoonfuls of yogurt. So pretty much I'm almost finished here. Okay, I just pulled out these bananas from the microwave, and they just smell so delicious, and they're nice and soft. And my very special Williams and Sonoma syrup vanilla extract is just coming out of here, just like right into your nostrils. So anyway, the vanilla and the bananas are all nicely intermingled here. This is the wet stuff. It's steaming, but that actual heat actually helps the baking soda. That's my theory. That's what I think. Because we want this bread to actually rise or do something. We want the soda bubbles or whatever to do their thing. Okay, so basically I have all of that in there. Now I'm mixing it. My oven is preheating. And just mixing up my batter. Tossing my stuff in here. Let's see. Okay. Excuse me. I don't know what's going on with me. I got some sort of cold. I like to put things away because I just don't like a messy kitchen. So that's all sort of intermingled there. Slowly tidying up. I've sort of made a mess in here. Okay. Okay, and now got all of that in there. With a wash spatula, I'm going to add my batter to the pan. Okay, there we go. So this is what the batter looks like. And trust me, this is gonna work out, okay? I'll even, I'm not gonna let you wait for 60 minutes, but I'll post a picture if you want to know what it looks like after. Okay, anyways, so I'm just going to spatula out this batter into my pan. Yeah. And what I usually do is sort of like to even it out on the top. Because if you don't, then it turns out odd looking. The puckers and stuff like that turn out, and you don't want a pucker in your bread. You want your bread to look nice and smooth on the top, no puckers. Okay, and another surprise I have for my children when they wake up in 60 minutes hopefully, some banana bread. So I add special chocolate and I sort of break it up with my hands and I give a little piece of chocolate for each part. For each little slice of bread. Yeah. So once I discovered this strange hidden talent or love for baking, I just didn't stop baking. I just enjoy it and I do it all the time, and I find it's a blessing to be able to cook or bake. Something not to take for granted. Especially if your family appreciates it. It's fun. Okay, so with little chunks of chocolate and everything all intermingled and everything's all in there. Now I'm just going to put it in the oven. I usually say a quick prayer, like, okay, God, thank you for that, and let's make sure it works out. Put the timer on for 60 minutes. And that's how I make my banana bread.